Hello and welcome to this slow Hatha practice with myself, Matthew Hui, and my lovely partner Saz, and our dog Coco. And this practice is taken from the book, The Physiology of Yoga by Andy McGonigal and myself, Matt. So, Hatha is, as opposed to a dynamic practice, all about slowing down, taking your time in poses, and really experiencing those poses. And that's what we're going to set out to do today. So we're going to start by slowing everything down and just lying down. So go ahead and take a comfortable lying down position, like a Shavasana, final relaxation, but our initial relaxation. You could have your legs straight out, like Saz, or bend the knees if you prefer. Arms down by your sides, palms face up, or wherever is comfortable. If you want to rest your hands on your tummy to feel your breath, then go ahead and do so. Once you are lying down, just take a nice big breath in. Hold the breath at the top. And as you exhale, let all tension melt away. Continuing to relax into the floor. Just notice your breathing. We're going to visualize our breath in a three-dimensional way. So as you breathe, visualize breathing into the bottom and tops of the lungs. Visualize breathing into the front and the back of the lungs. And then the lungs also expanding out to the sides with every breath. But of course, in a very gentle, relaxed way. Most importantly, letting yourself release into the floor. Enjoy these precious moments of letting your mind settle on one thing. Nothing needs to be done right now. No one requires your attention. You can enjoy simply being. One more moment here. Now just take a nice big breath in and start to move your fingers and your toes. Then reach the arms back into a long stretch. You can point your feet, arch your back. Nice big inhale and exhale. Then we're going to come into reclining hand to big toe, Supta Padangusthasana. So a strap, a yoga strap, could be very useful. Otherwise, some other strap, tea towel belt, or anything else. And we're going to bring that around the right foot. If you can comfortably grab big toe, with index middle finger, then go ahead and do that, just as the name suggests. So coming into this hamstring stretch, first just finding your passive flexibility, just enjoying this stretch. Breathing into it slowly. Now we're going to add in some proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, which is a very long word, often abbreviated just as PNF stretching, as described in chapter 1 of our book. So it will look largely the same as what you're doing now, but you're going to resist against this stretch. So the very same hamstrings that are being stretched, you're going to engage those and resist. Imagine you don't want to be stretched. I'm placing my hand on your heel and you don't want to be stretched. So go ahead and begin now. Resist the stretch, engaging your hamstrings for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax into it. So you're no longer actively engaging the hamstrings, just relaxing. Noticing how it feels. And then a second time out of 3. So prepare as if you don't want to be stretched. Resist. There should be tension on the straps or on your arm. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and relax into the stretch. You might find that your leg comes closer to you. No need to force it. Just really try to relax into it when we're not engaging. Right. And just notice how PNF stretching feels for you. One last time now. So prepare and resist the stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax into the stretch. That's our third and final time. It might be a more intense stretch, or maybe not. Just notice how it feels in yourself. Right. Now on to Supta Padangusthasana B. So we're going to hold on to the strap with your right hand only, or maybe you're holding onto the foot with your right hand, and open the right leg out to the right side. You might extend your left arm out as a counterbalance. Good. Nice long, slow breaths through the nose, and no PNF element here. Just letting yourself relax into the stretch. Perhaps close your eyes. And again, enjoy the fact that there's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. And then bring the leg back up. And let the right leg cross over to the left side. So let it go all the way down to the floor, or if it doesn't quite reach the floor, you could place a brick under your foot or your leg. Go ahead and let the pelvis rotate with the leg. Therefore, there is spinal rotation happening here. You're stretching the left arm out, no, your right arm out in the opposite direction. Enjoying that stretch, that rotation from the right foot all the way up to the right hand. And then slowly come back up. Let's put the strap off to to the side. Just take a long full body stretch. Again, reach the arms back. Stretch the legs forward. Good. You can arch the back like you've just woken up. You get a nice little stretch through the body. Good. And then let's take hold of the strap again, if you're using that, or belt, or anything else, around the left foot now. First, finding your passive hamstring stretch. So wherever it is that you start to feel that stretch, and just taking a few long, slow breaths there. One more breath here. And now adding that P and F element. So resist the stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7. The hamstring muscles engaging. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax into it. You don't need to force your leg to come closer. If it does, come closer towards your chest. Okay. If it doesn't, okay. But just try to notice that changing sensation from the muscles engaging, contracting, to relaxing into the stretch. And this is just to sample it, see how this stretch feels in your body. Second go now. So resist the stretch for 10, 9, 8, like you don't want to be stretched. 7, 6, 5, you're trying to bring your leg down to the floor. 4, but it doesn't move. 3, 2, and relax into it. Long, slow breaths again. And one last time. Resist the stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax into the hamstring stretch the final time. Good. One more breath cycle here. And then opening out to the left side. So hold on to the strap with your left hand only, or holding onto the foot. Extend the right arm out in the opposite direction as a counterbalance. If you'd like, closing your eyes. And again, no P and F element, but just letting yourself relax here. Notice where you feel the stretch. What sensations you feel. And then let's bring the leg back up and let it cross over to the right. So the left leg over to the right. Letting the hips, pelvis rotate with the leg. So then your left hip will be stacked over the right hip. Extending the left arm long. You're holding into the strap with the right hand or your foot. Maybe closing your eyes. Taking long, slow breaths. And then just slowly come out of that, putting the strap off to the side and into our good morning stretch. Again, reach the arms back, point the feet, arch your lower back, just enjoy that stretch. Right. And then take your time to come up. And we're coming onto all fours. So rolling yourself up, and then rolling over the feet and onto all fours. Let's crawl in position. And into cat-cow. So arching the back. And then round the back. Moving slowly through your spinal extension and flexion. And then just hold still in the center. We'll come into our first downward dog. So lifting the hips up, toes tucked under. And you might need to adjust the length of your stance from your feet to your hands, wiggle back or forward as required. If you find that your back is quite rounded, try bending the knees in order to create a more flat back position. So you can get a nice opening through the chest and underarms. Feel free to paddle through the feet, pressing one heel down and then the other. Great. And then just holding still. And let's take little steps to walk the feet all the way forward to the hands until you're in a forward fold, bending down, and just letting yourself relax into this forward fold. Let your neck relax. So the head hangs like a ripened fruit. And then let's bend the knees and letting the arms hang, like the head hangs, slowly roll up through your back. Or if you prefer to come up with a flat back, then do so. But take your time. Great. And then we're standing at the top of the mat. Yeah, if you'd like, circle the shoulders, circle the neck. And then coming into a sun salutation, Surya Namaskar. So let's have the feet together. Unless you prefer to have them a little bit wider. And hands together at the top of the mat. Yeah. Focus your eyes onto one point in front of you. And bring your attention to your breath. One more breath cycle here. And with the next inhale, let's reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips, hands come down to the floor. Inhale to look forward, come about halfway up. And exhale, step the right leg back, knee down for a low lunge. Inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Stepping back to your high plank. Now this funny position, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskar, and then low cobra on this first round. So slide forward, and you're in cobra, but not pushing into the hands quite yet. Stay for one more breath cycle. And then back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to go via a child's pose, please do. Good. Nice slow breaths in your downward dog. The definition of mindfulness is simply that your mind is full of the current experience. So to practice mindfulness, all you need to do is be aware of what you're feeling and everything that's presently happening. With the next inhale, float the right leg high and step it lightly forward between the hands. You can keep the back knee lifted. Inhale, step the left foot forward, come about halfway up. And then exhale to fold down, relax down. Let's press into the balls of the feet, come up with a flat back all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart, where we'll remain for a nice long breath in and out. Great. And then leading with the second leg. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. With fingertips on the floor or shins. Inhale, look forward, come halfway up. Step left leg back, knee down to the floor for low lunge. Sweep the arms up. Inhale, look upwards. And exhale, hands frame the front foot. To your plank, inhale. Lower knees, chest, chin, this funny position with your tailbone lifted up in the air. Low cobra again, no weight in the hands. Stay for an extra breath or two. Good. Enjoy the feeling of the back muscles engaging. And then downward dog, if you'd like, via child's pose. and simply practicing mindfulness in your downward dog by being aware of where you feel the stretch, what sensations you feel, noticing your breath, anything that anchors you to the present moment. Next, inhale, float the left leg high, and exhale, step it forward. Keep the back knee lifted. Inhale, step the right foot forward, come halfway up, and exhale to fold down. Coming all the way up, inhale. Nice, reaching up, a little back bend, and hands to the heart. Good, let's stay here for a breath cycle. And then coming into round 2 of 3. Inhale, reach up. And exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, fingertips on the floor or shins, right leg back. Exhale, knee to the floor. Low lunge, bringing the arms up. And hands frame the front foot. Right to your plank position. And then lower knees, chest, chin. This time pushing into the hands, high cobra. And let's stay for an extra breath cycle. So stay here for the exhale. Staying for another inhale. And then back to downward dog. Again, just be mindful in your downward dog of your breath, what you feel in your body. With the next inhale, float the right leg as high as you can and step it forward between the hands. Inhale, left foot forward, come halfway up. And exhale to fold down, forehead towards the shins. Inhale to come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And let's stay here for a breath before going on to the left side. Next, inhale, stretch up and back. And exhale to fold forward, hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway up. Left leg back, knee to the floor. Sweep the arms up in your low lunge. Nice big movement. Enjoy that back bend. Hands frame the front foot. Right. To plank position. Knees, chest, chin down again. Then cobra, push into the hands, lift the heart. Staying for an extra breath if you like. And then downward facing dog. Right. So you can spread your fingers wide in your downward dog and even spread your toes wide. Are you feeling warmer in your body now that we've moved? With the next inhale, float the left leg high and step it forward between the hands. Good, right foot forward, come halfway up, and then relax into it, just drape down. Inhale to come all the way up, reach up, and exhale, hands to the heart. Staying here for a breath cycle before we go to the last round. So with your next inhale, sweep the arms up, find a back bend, and exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, halfway up, and the right leg back for your low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up, and hands frame the front foot. Good. Take your time to your plank, knees, chest, chin, cobra, and then downward dog. Aware of your down dog, aware of your breath. How does it feel? One more breath cycle. Next, inhale, float the right leg as high as you can and lightly step it forward. Inhale, left foot forward, come halfway up. Exhale to fold down. Coming all the way up, reach up. Arch, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Staying here for a breath in and out. And then with the next inhale, stretch up and fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Then left leg back, knee down, low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands frame the front foot. To your plank position, high plank, and then knees, chest, chin. Cobra, pushing into the hands, shine the heart forward, and downward dog. 3 slow breaths. You could try spreading the fingers and toes wide, noticing your foundations on the floor. And with the next inhale, float the left leg up high. Step it forward between the hands. Inhale, right foot forward, look forward, and then soften into it, relax down. Exhale. Inhale to come all the way up, reach up, look up, and exhale. Hands to the heart. Great. Let's open the feet hip distance, and just let your arms relax down by your sides. Close your eyes. Notice how you feel after those 3 rounds of sun salutations. Great, now let's blink the eyes open into triangle pose, Trikonasana. We're going to step the right foot back. The left leg is out in front of you. Arms wide, and then glide forward, hinging at the left hip crease, and place your left hand lightly onto the shin, brick, foot, or floor as you reach the right arm high. Try looking upwards at the ceiling, directly above your nose if you can. Long, slow breaths as you reach down with your bottom hand and up with your top hand. Great. One more slow breath in and out. And then just slowly come up from here. Coming into revolved triangle next. So we're going to square off the hips to the front of the mat. So you can place your hands onto your hips, square them to face forward. Let's reach the right arm up. Okay. If you have a brick, have that handy. I definitely like to use a brick. Just bring the hand inside the left foot. So right hand goes inside the left foot onto the floor or onto a brick. Try to keep the legs straight, but if hamstrings are a little bit tighter on the front leg, the left knee might need to be bent. Stretching really high up through the left arm, reaching the fingertips up to the ceiling. And try looking upwards. Notice how this revolved triangle is a lot harder than just the normal extended triangle. One more slow breath in and out. And then inhale to slowly come up from here. Step the back foot forward, hands together at the top of the mat. Good, nice big breath in and out. And let's go to the second side. So step the left foot back. Arms wide, nice long stance with the feet. Glide forward and place your right hand lightly onto the shin, foot, brick or floor. And reach up through the left arm. Good. Looking upwards towards the top hand. Try to make yourself narrow, so that the left shoulder is stacked over the right shoulder. Do your best to keep your eyes focused on that one point above you, or wherever you happen to be looking. And stay mindful of your breath. Inhale to come up from here. Good, hands onto the hips, squaring off the hips to the front of the mat, which means you'll probably need to adjust the back foot. Inhale to reach the left arm up, and then exhale, hand to the floor, revolved triangle. Inside the foot, on the floor, or on a brick if you like. Reach the right arm up. Good. Try to have the right sitting bone directly behind the right heel, so it's not sticking out to the side too much. Actively twisting through the back and reaching up through the right arm. Imagine shooting lasers out of your fingertips, really reaching up high. more. Slow breath in and out. And then inhale, just come up from here. And exhale, step the back foot forward. We're at the top of the mat. Good. Nice long slow breath in and out. And next we're coming into half moon pose. So a brick might be very useful. I would have it on its highest height on the left side. So when you're ready, straight from the front of the mat, you're going to send the right foot back, tilting into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Good. Left hand on the brick or on the floor. Reaching the right arm up high. Lift the right leg as high as you can. Imagine you have an ankle weight around your right ankle. Can you lift up against that ankle weight? If you aren't already, can you look up at the ceiling for the last 2 breaths? Great. With the next exhale, we're going to bring the right hand down to go into revolved half moon. So the right hand goes down onto the floor or a brick. The left arm reaches up. You have not changed legs. You're still standing on the left leg. Right leg reaching back behind you. Good. Reaching up through the left arm. Looking to that side there. Maybe up at the ceiling if you can for the last couple of breaths. Good. I think you're just trying to take up as much space as you can in every direction. With the next exhale, just come to a forward fold, dangle down and relax. Let the neck relax. And then bend the knees and slowly come up from here. Great. Nice big breath in and out. If you need to rearrange your bricks for your half moon or revolved half moon, then go ahead and do so. When you're ready, let's go to the other side. So send the left leg back. The right hand goes down to the brick or floor. Good. It's a half moon pose with the left arm lifting up high. Again, imagine an ankle weight on the left ankle. Lift up against the ankle weight. You could flex the top foot, the left foot, or point it, whatever works better for you to really find length through the leg. With the next exhale, we'll bring the left hand down for revolved half moon. And then rotate the right arm up. Make sure you've not changed legs, you're still standing on the right leg. Hips are generally squared off. Reaching back through the left leg. Nice long, slow breath through the nose. See if you can look upwards. One more breath cycle in this balance, which is much harder than half moon, so you're not alone if you think this feels hard. And then exhale to fold down and release. The sweetness of rest after doing something challenging. And Hatha in Sanskrit actually means force. So we are indeed using effort in these poses. Much different to just lying down and relaxing. Good. And then let's bend the knees and slowly come up from here all the way to standing. Right, and that's our balanced poses. Next, coming into a couple of back bends. So at the top of the mat, let's have the hands together, feet together. Take a big breath in. Nice long slow exhale out. Inhale to stretch up, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale to look forward, come halfway up. And then just step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale to a high plank, and then slowly lower yourself all the way down to your tummy for cobra. 2 rounds of Bhujangasana, cobra. So the hands next to the chest. And then elbows pointing up, push into the hands for cobra. Good, think of puffing the chest, shining the heart forward. Trying to keep the shoulders back. I recommend having a slight bend in the elbows, so you're not completely straightening the elbows. Looking forwards or upwards. I find I get a better back bend to my upper back by looking up. Notice you're breathing. One more breath cycle in cobra. And then relax, coming down, turn your head to the right and close your eyes. You could maybe use your hands like a pillow or just have your hands down by your sides. Enjoy relaxing after that back bend, which really requires a lot of effort. Or Hatha, force. One more breath here. And then let's get ready for round 2 of Cobra. So placing the hands next to the chest. Push down into the hands, lift the heart. Imagine you're squeezing lemons in your armpits, so hug the elbows in, squeezing lemons, shining the heart forward. If it's ever too much to push into the hands, you could always take low cobra, as we did at the beginning, where there's no weight on the hands. You need to be engaging the same exact muscles. Last few breaths in cobra. And fold down. Turn your head to the left, close your eyes. And again, enjoy that sweetness of rest after a back bend. Let yourself completely relax into the floor. Great. Let's come up from here. Next, coming into camel pose, Ustrasana. So we're coming back onto our knees in a kneeling position. Okay. Hands onto the back of the pelvis. Try to point the toes back. And think of lifting upwards, make yourself nice and tall. Right. Now we start to arch. So lifting the chest upwards. And then try circling the arms, right hand, left hand, try to find the heels. If you can't find the heels, you can't reach them, try tucking your toes under. And if you can't reach both heels, just have the right hand out, reach the left arm over. And finally, if any of that is too much, stay where you were before, with the hands at the back of the pelvis, and just get this nice little gentler back bend by lifting up. Last few breaths in camel pose. See if you can shift the hips forward just a little bit more. And then slowly come out of that, sitting back onto the heels, either in hero pose as I am, or if you'd like to take child's pose as Saz does. Notice your breathing and your heart rate as you come out of camel pose. And actually, you might find that your heart rate increases. And this has to do with regulation of blood flow to the brain. Because our head was, if it was dropped back, blood easily flowing into the brain. And then you come back up, and there's a little bit less blood flows. But our body has this beautiful way of regulating everything. So it speeds up the heart rate a little bit to ensure that regular flow of blood to the brain. All these amazing things that our body is doing to maintain this physiological homeostasis, or everything in balance. So in other words, if you're feeling that heart rate increase, breathing increase, that's completely normal. All right, let's come up from here for a second and final round of camel pose. Hands at the back of the pelvis, starting to lift up. Good. I like to really engage quads and glutes here, feel nice and sturdy from below. And then circle the left arm back, the right arm back. Find the heels if you can. Remember, you can tuck the toes under, reach one arm back, stay more upright, do what works for you. Try to shift the hips forward. If it bothers your neck to let your head go all the way back, then just keep the head lifted up, looking forward a little bit. Last few breaths in camel pose. And then releasing out, sitting back onto the heels. Good. Either in hero pose or child's pose. And notice what physiological changes occur. Maybe even giving thanks for these amazing little things that our body does to keep us in balance. And then just come up from here into Malasana, yogic squat, as it's sometimes called. You'll tuck the toes under, sit back on the heels. So the heels may or may not touch the floor. And it's perfectly fine if the heels are elevated. Try to bring the hands to you in front of the heart. If you find your heels are really lifted off the floor, you could consider having a brick under the heels, which would then allow you to shift back a little bit more and perhaps get more out of this. At the same time, if your heels are hovering above the floor, no problem, they can hover. All right. With the hands together in front of the heart, imagine lengthening upwards. As if there's an apple on the top of your head and you're lifting the apple up. Focus the eyes on one point in front of you. Notice your breathing. One more slow breath in and out. And then we're going to come into an arm balance. Crow or crane. So Saz will show crow, which is just a difference of where the arms are. In crow, the elbows are, the knees are outside the elbows, so it's a little bit lower down. Crow pose. In crane, the knees are up into the armpits almost, above the triceps. So try both, see which one works better for you. Look towards the front of your mat and shift forward. The key to balancing in this pose is shifting far enough forward. You need to shift far enough forward that all of the weight is off of your feet. One more little try if you're not already balancing there. And then just step back to downward facing dog. You're more than welcome to stay in downward dog or to go through a cobra vinyasa. So you'll inhale to high plank if you'd like. Knees, chest, chin to the floor. And then cobra, pushing the hands, lift the heart. Downward facing dog. Great. Settling into downward dog, big breath in and out. And the next inhale, float the right leg high. Step the foot forward between the hands into half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Sometimes called runner's stretch also. So bring the left knee down to the floor. Good. You're going to straighten the right leg, the front leg, as much as you can. And you could have bricks under your hands if that would help, especially if it's a little bit hard to reach the floor. This is not, quote unquote, full splits in that the back knee is not lifted off the floor. Try to flex the front foot. The knee might not fully straighten if the hamstrings are a little bit tighter, and that's perfectly fine. Try looking forward and imagining lengthening upwards. And then let's just tuck the chin in slightly. the back rounds a little bit. Breathe into this stretch. And imagine pressing your right heel down into the floor. Like there's wet sand under your heel and you're trying to imprint the heel into the sand. Couple more breaths in this half splits position. And slowly release out and into downward dog. Right. And whatever you fancy in downward dog, if you want to paddle through the feet or bend the knees, wiggle the hips out, or just remain still. And with the next inhale, float the left leg high and step it forward between the hands for that half splits on the second side. One of our last poses today. So flex the left foot, dorsiflex at the ankle, slide the foot forward. Consider bricks under your hands. And again, if the front leg is straight, no problem. If the front leg is bent, no problem. You'll still get a great hamstring stretch. Inhale to look forward and imagining lengthening upwards. And then just slightly tucking the chin in. Your back might round a little bit, and that's fine. To intensify the stretch a bit, imagine pressing the left heel down into wet sand. You're trying to imprint your heel into the sand. Long, slow breaths. And again, simply being mindful of this experience. How does it feel? How do you feel in yourself? Physically, mentally, emotionally. Notice your breath. Anything that anchors you to the present experience. And then let's release out, downward dog. Taking any intuitive movements you'd like to take. Just one more asana before we come into our final relaxation. So from where you are in downward dog, bring your knees down. Just sitting down. Now sit to the left of your feet and swing the right leg around. We should be in position for a seated spinal twist, or Ardha Matsyendrasana. So the right knee should be lifted and the left foot is close to the right buttock, like that. If you find that your right buttock won't come down to the floor, consider placing a brick underneath your bottom or straightening the bottom leg. Okay. We're going to wrap the left elbow around the knee, the right knee, or outside it. And as you inhale, sit as tall as you can. So we come into a neutral spine. And then rotating to the right, so looking behind you over the right shoulder. Focus the eyes on one point or close your eyes. Let your mind be full of this experience. How does it feel? Where do you feel the different sensations? sensations in your body? What does it feel like to twist the spine like this? Are you going to your edge? Could you twist a little bit more? Or are you forcing it too much and maybe easing off would be wiser? Last couple of breaths. So if you feel like you want to twist just a little bit more, you may. And release. Keep the legs just as they are. Let's just counter-rotate for a moment. If that feels good to do so, so just rotating to the left, maybe even bringing your head down. And then back to the center. Let's change legs. So if you bring both legs out in front of you, lift the left foot, bring the left foot outside the right knee. Swing the bottom leg in. You should be ready for the second side. The left knee is the one that's elevated. Or, of course, if you kept the bottom leg straight, do that on this side as well. So we inhale, and there's this feeling of lengthening upwards. And then as you exhale, you rotate to the left, looking behind you over your left shoulder. Quite commonly said in yoga classes that twists can help detoxify the liver. And in our book, we address this and the fact that your liver detoxifies on its own really, really well. But exercise and movement in general are known to help improve the detoxification processes of the body. But the idea of a twist detoxifying the liver is not really a factual one. It doesn't really make physiological sense. But that doesn't mean that this twist isn't doing a lot for the body. And just simply notice all the different sensations that are happening in your body as you twist. For the last few breaths, you might rotate just a little bit further if that's available. And then finally release from there. Keep the legs just as they are and rotate to the right. Notice how that feels. And then back to the center. Coming into the final relaxation. So take your time to lie down onto your back. Into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. You might spread the legs out to a comfortable distance, the arms out to a comfortable distance. Again, make it your own, make it comfortable. Close your eyes. Once you are lying down comfortably, notice the points of your body in contact with the floor. Let yourself relax into those points of contact. And enjoy this Shavasana. begin to slowly move fingers and toes. And reach the arms back into a long, full body stretch. Again, like you've just woken up. And take your time to come up and face forward, maybe rolling to your side if you like. Or simply up through the center. Finishing in a comfortable seated position. As we finish, just notice how you're feeling in yourself. And we'll finish here. Thank you. Namaste. Shanti. Thank you very much for joining us. And see you soon. Bye.
Au revoir.